Hello everyone, I'm Sophie and I'm currently at Kechara Forest Retreat, Bentong, Malaysia. And this will be the book that I'll be reading from, Gurus for Hire, Enlightenment for Sale, an insider's guide into the relationship between spiritual teachers, students, and centers by my guru, His Eminence the 25th Sam Tuku Rinpoche. Today I'll be reading from page 89, the topic on doubting the guru. And before that, I'll go to a picture to share with you. There you go. This is my guru. Okay, back to the reading. Page 89, Doubting the Guru. I refer to the Kalachakra Tantra, the Kalachakra short treatises. If we observe something in our guru that we do not understand, which we do not have the wisdom to understand, or which we do not agree with, we should just quietly stay away, not say anything and not criticize. In our meditations, we see our guru as a Buddha. His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama said he had no problems with that, and he gave an example. He had two regents when he was a child. One regent, Retin Rinpoche, was in power when he first assumed his position. Retin Rinpoche had the power taken away from him, and another regent came into power after that. The second regent found out that there was a plot, so he had the first regent, Retin Rinpoche, imprisoned in the Potala and executed. The Dalai Lama was living upstairs, and in the dungeons of the Potala was his guru, Retin Rinpoche. The Dalai Lama said that in his meditations, he saw Retin Rinpoche as being very kind to him. He was the one who went all over Tibet to find him, who went to Palden Lamo's lake to receive the visions to see him. He was the one who was running the country when the Dalai Lama was still very young. Retin Rinpoche was the one who exchanged his clothes for lay clothes and went to the Dalai Lama's house to see if the Dalai Lama would recognize him. He was the one who brought the items for him to recognize. Retin Rinpoche was the one who gave him his vows and refuge vows, who became his first guru and gave him teachings. At the same time, when there was political intrigue, this same Rinpoche, the Dalai Lama's guru, was put in the dungeon, in a holding cell in the Potala, and executed by the second regent who came into power. His Holiness said in his writings that in his meditations, he had no problem seeing Retin Rinpoche as his guru, but on an ordinary, normal level, he saw him involved in political intrigue, and there were consequences which had to be carried out. He said he did not see any difficulty in that. On one level, His Holiness can meditate on his guru being a Buddha, and on another level, he acknowledges that his guru had committed a crime. I'm not at that level. I cannot do that. If I found out that my guru was a mass murderer, the reincarnation of Jack the Ripper, and has been killing monks and nuns, it is going to be pretty hard for me to visualize him as a Buddha. I feel that what the Dalai Lama says can only apply to His Holiness. It cannot apply to us because he is forced into the position of a political king or leader and a higher spiritual teacher. He has no choice but has to play two roles. That is the way he had to come to terms with what happened to his guru. But do we want to go in that direction, to think that our gurus can be wrong? Do we want to listen when another guru says that our guru is wrong, or when our guru says another guru is wrong? When a guru is dead, do we start saying that whatever he taught us was wrong? Do we want to break our samaya? Do we want to make people lose confidence? Then it will not end. I will not do that, and this is why I chose the middle path. Sometimes we do find ourselves in difficult situations with the guru. He may tell us to do something, and even if we do it the way he has instructed, he then says no and tells us to do it differently. It is so difficult to please him. We work hard in the hot sun and in the cold while we are thirsty or hungry, and for years we bear criticism from people who complain about us from the east, the west, and all 10 directions. On top of that, after we have explained our work to our guru and we expect a compliment for our good work, we get a scolding instead. It is difficult to work and to not know exactly what to do or exactly what the guru wants. However, we have to learn to see the scolding of the guru like a wrathful mantra, purifying our hindrances and negative karma. Eventually, all the hardships and criticism become incredibly worthwhile because he is destroying our ego and our attachments. We have to ask ourselves if we did the work to get a compliment. If we get angry when our guru tells us that we did our work wrongly, or when he tells us to do it again, we must consider that he may be mirroring our feelings and our mind. He shows us how attached, how angry, and how impatient we are. How kind that person is to put up with that kind of action. In the Lamrim Chemo, it says that if the Guru shows he is pleased, it does not mean that he is really pleased. Or if the Guru shows that he is displeased, it does not mean that he is really displeased. His mind may actually be pleased, but outwardly he may have to show displeasure for a purpose. Sometimes he is testing us. This is what a skillful, perfect, real Guru does. How can we know if his actions are not a reflection of our own actions? We cannot judge our faulty eyes, our faulty mind, and faulty decisions. How many faulty decisions do we make from morning to night? How can we trust ourselves? In the first place, how do we know that what we are seeing is reliable? How do we know that we are reliable? Even when we meet an ordinary person, we cannot really trust our judgment of what he is doing and whether it is right or wrong. We have met many people who are not at all like what we first thought they were. So how can we judge a guru who may be very advanced in his meditations and deliberately shows different aspects to us? How can we know if our guru is not enlightened, manifesting in an ordinary way? How do we know if our guru has or has not the best intentions for us? How can we make that differentiation? How can we judge? If we look at ourselves honestly, we will know that we have oceans and oceans of weaknesses and very few good qualities. Yet, our minds have to be trained to always see ourselves in a good way, even with all our negative qualities, negative traits, and delusions. If we can learn to look at the Guru in the same way, our mind can be trained to develop Guru devotion. I'm sure our personal gurus have many more good qualities than us for us to base our training on. It would be better to assume that our guru is a Buddha than to make the drastic mistake to think that he is not the Buddha. We need to check and meditate on the good qualities of our guru to override the bad qualities that we think of or perceive. The more we train ourselves to think of the good qualities, the more our wrong thoughts are cut down. As the great Lama Tsongkhapa said, the more we see good qualities, the less we see mistakes in others. The smaller and weaker their faults become. It is the Kadam way of Guru devotion to look at the good qualities our Guru has, because objectively, many Dharma teachers are not Buddhas. And unless our Guru is running around murdering people, nitpicking the bad qualities of our teacher all the time, will not encourage our practice, our faith, or our spiritual quest. The Guru is made of 4 elements: water, air, earth, and fire. The statues are also made up of 4 elements, but they are not Buddha. They are a representation of a Buddha. This Buddha cannot eat, move, teach, feel, or console us. He just sits there stiff, staring at us, waiting for more offerings. If we can visualize this as the Buddha, why can't we visualize our Guru as the actual living Buddha? They are made of the same materials. In fact, our Guru would be a much better visualization because he can actually eat what we offer to him, thereby giving us the opportunity to collect merits. He can actually console us. When we request for Dharma, he can actually teach, guide, and help us. The Guru is none other than Buddha. We should not run away from our responsibilities or escape his instructions. We should not avoid him because we cannot hide it out of our, because we cannot do it out of our laziness or any of the delusions. Also, if our Guru tells us something, we should not do it just because we are scared that we will be punished if we don't, and that there will be bad karma. We should try to understand and think about his intention for giving us these instructions. If, with our limited wisdom, we cannot understand his intention, we should go ahead and do what he has instructed. Be patient and not make all sorts of comments. What he asks may be difficult, but his immediate purpose may not be obvious. But our teachers only tells us to do what is beneficial for ourselves and others. We should not fight him once we have accepted him as our Guru. We should receive his advice joyfully, and with deep gratitude for the great concern he has for our welfare. Sometimes our Guru may ask us to do something, and we sincerely cannot do it, not because we are stingy, lazy, or just do not want to do it. If we sincerely cannot do it and we explain the situation to him, the Guru will of course say it is okay. If we really cannot comply, we should not be rude or arrogant. We should explain politely and with extreme humility what the difficulty is. The teacher will not be unreasonable, as a Buddha is filled with great compassion. In Manjusri's Tantra, he quotes, "In the future, the Buddhas will be appearing in ordinary form, in the form of our Gurus. If the Buddha appear to us in their regular form, how will we see them? Can you see Shakyamuni or Kuan Yin or Manjusri? If we cannot see or hear them, how will we get the teachings? If the Buddhas manifest in a very high form, we cannot see them. If they manifest in a very low form, like a dog, it is of no benefit to us. They do, of course, have the power to manifest to benefit us, but they manifest in a medium form, a form of an ordinary human being with supposed problems, delusions, and faults. This way, they can be closer to us, so we can relate to them easier, and they can use themselves as an example to show us how we can also improve. If a guru manifested perfectly, does not touch the ground, walks by floating 3 inches off the ground, has a halo around him, never smells, does not have to take a bath, we would all think that is too far away and that we will not be able to accomplish that. But if an enlightened being manifests in an ordinary, simple way that we can relate to, with all the same supposed problems that we have, and we learn that he started off just like us and gradually improved, then it is inspiring, it is moving, it is excellent for us, it is exemplary. And with that, I end my sharing session for today. And as Rinpoche says, we should always view our Guru as the same as the Buddha. I mean, actually even higher than the Buddha, because they are so compassionate to actually come and give us the Dharma and also to guide us in our spiritual practice. I mean, the Buddha, as a statue, it just sits there and there's no interaction with the Buddha other than our offerings to them, our prayers. but we will never be able to know how effective, our offerings or prayers are, because the Buddha, it's a statue. It's just a representation of a Buddha. Whereas with a guru, he is there and, alive and able to reach out to us, and we are able to reach out to him for help, and also to, you know, guide us in our practices. He's able to help us to overcome our faults and any afflictions that we have. So, what is more precious than having a living guru with us? Sorry, I just miss my guru so much. Anyway, so I'll end this end this session with a completion dedication in Tibetan. Jang Yose Joren Poshe, Makepanam Geyushi, Kepanam Pame Payang Gone Gondu Pewashu. Tony Tomo Rinpoche, Make Panam Geishi, Gepanam Pame Payang Gone Gondu Pewashu. Daso Jini Sapangewadi, Danandroa Guna Gampadang, Jepa Jesu no Santrapai, Tamping Imporendu Sa Sesho, Gewa Kuntu Yandala Madang, Drame Choki Palano Joje, Sadam Nangi Yate Razone, Toje Changi Opanga Tuso, Gewadi Gewandi Yududa Lama Sangyo Droyone, Drowa Chikia Malupa, Dei Salago Pashu, Choki Kelposongapa, Josunam Papewala, Geki Samasiwada, Tungi Malu Sawasho, Dadam Sangi Desanda, Drewa Songi Latene, Kewa Losantrapai, Tampa Yuriva, Gyushi. Ni modele sendele, ni mingu nyandele shi, ni sintatu dele pel, kunchu sungi jingilo, kunchu sungi ngodruso, kunchu sungi trasi sho. Jesu nama kusen rapting ching, nam katrini chochu ke padang, lo sam tempe dro mi sap sungi, dro e mun satato ni giu shi. Gangwe rawe ko ishin kamne, pendan dewa malu gyo ne, sharon se one tense get so yi, shape shi de badu den giu shi. Home tompe ngodro malu pa, den dala sel du so, kodan den pa long chot no, ke pa so shik shuk den sel. Thank you for sharing your time with me, and I do hope that you join me again for my next session. Bye bye.